Okay, traders, so if you're in a similar boat to me in that you're thinking, are they going to cut rates in the US? Are they not going to cut as much? Is what's going on in the Middle East now going to escalate strength or weakness into the US dollar? Are there all these drivers that you're uncertain about and you don't know how it's going to affect the market? Well, you'll be like me, okay? I'm like that. So what do? Well, what I tend to do is look at key levels in the market and let the market tell me. I don't need to hear all the possibilities, because if you do that, you'll spend your life not trading, because there'll always be something you don't know. So what I'm going to do today is show you where we isolated a really key level in the market and made our trading choices based on the way the market behaved or told us it was doing by price action. And that's what we want to look at, this US dollar index, and how we've been looking at a key level and how trading opportunities presented itself. Feel free to contact me on the email below so that you get these live broadcasts telling you where the key levels are and when the key levels are being reached or prices very close to it. Remember folks, then it's up to you to apply your trading strategy to decide when it's happening, but at least you have an idea of when price is near it and why this is a key level. All right, so over the last few weeks, I've been watching this US dollar index, folks, relative strength against the major currencies around the world. So this US dollar was falling down very rapidly, and this is a weekly chart right down to weekly support. Now at this level, the talk was there was going to be double cuts from the Fed, weak US dollar, the economy isn't going so well. We got talk about how there was going to be now future cuts moving into next year and at the end of this year. There was a lot of weak talk. So I threw the weak talk out the window, which we discussed, and said, let's look at the level and let's see what the market is going to do. So I watched it pretty closely, and yes, it was looking weak. It was looking like it was going to break this major bottom of the range weekly support level. Well, it was looking like that, okay? So I can't tell you every support level is going to hold, but I can tell you they're all made to be broken. So keep that in mind. So I watched it for a few days and thought, hang on, this level, even though it's trying to break it, it's not getting through here. So at that point, I started to look at buying US dollars. So what we were broadcasting out were key levels that we started to identify on the crosses. All right, so I'll run through a few that we broadcast out last week. So first of all, we looked at this euro dollar. It was on a daily double top support level and it kept failing to break through it. In my view, it's almost like an inverted DXY or this US dollar index. Once it started failing there a few times, we started to look at it as a potential short in line with this US dollar strength we might be seeing coming off the bottom of the US dollar range. The other options I looked at, of course, was the New Zealand dollar. So the New Zealand dollar was forming, a bit like the US dollar index, it was forming a double weekly top. So this double weekly top, you can see there at 63.69. Then, of course, as we got a bounce in this US dollar, we started to see it fail. And fail it has, folks. It's moved down a few hundred pips from that level. Of course, its sister or brother, depending on what you want to call them, is the Aussie against US dollar. Very similar scenario. So I was looking at the 69 level for very similar reasons on the Aussie. Well, that Aussie failed, folks. It absolutely started to move south very quickly this week. So we moved across on the buy side of the US dollar, keeping in line, I was looking for an opportunity for the dollar yen. Now look at this dollar yen. We've got multiple confirmations. We've got a strong uptrend on the monthly chart here, a massive pullback to monthly support. And at that monthly support level, it actually coincided with a 62% fib retracement on the monthly move. That's the spot, multiple confirmations. I looked at that level and thought to myself, that there is a technical buy, and we broadcast that out to people as well. All of those trades, folks, all of those trades worked, but all of those trades are working right now because of one reason. we did our technical analysis breakdown of this dollar index, okay? As you can see here, this dollar index has bounced substantially over the end of last week and the start of this week, folks. So that's how we want to trade. We want to form a bias and have multiple confirmations and look for opportunities that we believe may work. If it does work, remember, we don't know it's going to work, but if that does work, we're going to see trading opportunities with the greatest potential result. So we talked about how the markets were poised. We didn't know they were poised, but they were certainly poised and have worked beautifully for us. So what we're looking ahead now is to let go of all that negative news on the US dollar and listen to what the market is telling us. For example, it was all weak US dollar. We're going to see interest rates cut greater than expected. Weak US dollar, it's going to go down because of a weakening economy. Everything was bad against the US dollar, yet the US dollar has completely reversed. Now the talk, of course, is, well, oil's going up. Well, there's tension in the Middle East. They're not going to cut as much as they say. So that's why I'm saying to you, do I believe the news right now? No. Did I believe the news back then? No. What I'm looking for is listening to the market. Tell me what it's going to do by staring at key levels on the charts. Well, that's all from me, folks. Have yourself a great end to the week.